Okay, today we're looking at Hacker Simulator, if it ever loads up. Okay, so today we're looking at Hacker Simulator, and I want to give you just a little bit of preview. Right now, at this playthrough, I'm about 5 hours into the game, and it's a very grindy game. I will say that it's a very easy game so far, but I'm about 5 hours into the game, and there's still a lot that still needs to be unlocked. I'm just going to give you a quick... This is your room that you live in. You don't do a whole lot in here. Most of the game is played through your computer. Obviously, this thing here, I don't know what it is, but it's red because you can see that it says unlocked with Rescator Group. There's a couple of things that I'm assuming I have to join a special hacking group to be able to use those features. And I haven't unlocked it yet. 5 hours into the game, I'm still doing grindy missions. Now you can walk out of your apartment. If you ever order something from Mamazon, yes, it's called Mamazon. It appears here on this palette. Just a little hint, if you ever do play it, the game tells you to go to the end of the alley to pick up your delivery, but your delivery actually shows up down there. You can see the mailbox is unlocked with Rescator Group, and this ATM is unlocked with Rescator Group. And 5 hours into the game, I have no idea who Rescator Group is. Now, like most hacking games, when you first start off, you're contacted by some mysterious figure who wants you to do some hacking jobs with them. And like with most hacking games, as you do jobs, you build reputation. You can see up here in the corner, my reputation is currently 6. This is my money. I currently have 23.85 Bitcoin. It's not called Bitcoin, it's called something. Over here, this is just a little list of the Wi-Fi networks in my area, and this little bar up here fills up slowly over time. Now, supposedly, when this bar gets completely filled up, you are in danger of being arrested. Now, early on in the game, I forgot to pay attention to the bar, and as far as I know, it got pretty full. It got full, but I did not get arrested. Now, I have seen on the forums where somebody got arrested and it pretty much ruined their game. They pretty much had to start over, and unfortunately there's no multiple save files that I can see here. Now, if you went into Steam and you browsed your local files, I'm sure you could find a way to archive off your current save file, but there's no multiple profiles, no multiple save files on here. This little window is just your objective. My current objective is to buy a graphic card on the Amazon website. That graphic card costs 300 bucks, and I'm a long way from that. I only have 23 at the moment. And the graphic card, when I buy it, it'll allow me to mine Bitcoin or whatever that nonsense people do these days. Down here, these are the current tools I have. I have my terminal window, which we'll see here in a minute. You have a notepad, which is just you can use to keep notes if you ever need to. I haven't really, I put some notes in there early on, but I haven't really needed to use them. Now, one thing I don't like is you can't resize the windows. So this is what the notepad looks like all the time. The terminal window always looks like this. I can't resize it because sometimes I need to run what's called tracer monitor. Now, like tracer monitor, I can leave tracer monitor running in this window, but it would be nice if I could just minimize this window or at least resize it so that the only thing that was in there was just this little thing, but I can't. It takes up this much screen real estate, but I can have multiple terminals open if I need to. Here is Discord, where you communicate with people giving you jobs. These are the various contracts that are available to me at the moment, and we'll look at those in a minute. You can see this one here. Override is the mysterious figure who contacts you at the beginning of the game. I've already done his contract, and he never goes away for some reason. CloudSec, I had to give him a Sweem account. I had to send him a text file that had credentials for a Sweem account that had at least 20 games in it. Maybe we'll look at those in a little bit. You see this pop up here. The game does have a cool synthwave sort of futuristic soundtrack goes along with it. I have it turned down right now. Yeah, but there's different types of things. Now, a lot of this is just disabled. It's just there to make it look like Discord. We'll look at that in a little bit. You have a browser. Now, when you first start off the game, all you have is the back store. The back store you can use to buy tools, like hacking and cracking tools, and you can buy exploits. We'll look at those in a little while. And you can buy Fishbook accounts. Obviously, Fishbook accounts is a parody of Twitter, obviously. So you can buy different type of accounts on there, which we can help you hack or fish people on Fishbook. On Fishbook, you can look at people's profiles, see what they're interested in, offer them a chance to be a moderator for a chat room or whatever, and then use that to break into the computer. It sounds really impressive. It's really simple, and it's just one of the many things you have to grind in this game. This game is very, very simple so far. If you've played NetHack, if you've played GreyHack, if you've played any sort of hacking game, Uplink or whatever, this is like super easy mode. Even though some of the missions are supposedly timed, everything that I've run across before has got like a 2-minute timer or more to complete something that takes you at most 15 seconds. Now, Kitty's DB is where you can go and download different exploits that you can use. HTTP and SMB, we'll look at those in a minute. Amazon is where you can go and buy stuff. Like I said, I'm currently saving up to buy this graphic card, which will allow me to mine Shellcoin passively. I don't know how much I'll make at once, but the NVIDIA T-Force GTX 3090 is $300. I wish the 3090 was really only $300 at the moment, or I would have one. Lazy Eats, I have no idea what to do with this. I know that you can get people's Lazy Eats accounts. Sometimes some of your jobs will be like, get me a Lazy Eats account that's got at least $40 in it. So all you can really do is get that account, log in here, and verify that there's at least $40 in that account before you send it off to the contract person. And sometimes it'll ask for a specific person's Lazy Eats. Show Me is something else that I have no idea what it's for. These are vulnerable networks that you can hack into. This was given to me pretty early in the game, so I thought this was going to be something I was going to be using a lot. But I really haven't had a reason to use it much. I've logged into them a few times, hacked into them a few times just to see what was what, and what was not much. So you log into them, they look a lot like the other systems you log into when you're doing contracts. They do have things on there you can steal, like Sweem accounts, Lazy Eats accounts, stuff like that. But you can find those on the other jobs that you do. So I don't know what this is really for at the moment. And then here you have Serverzilla. You can only keep so many programs or files on your home PC. The rest of them you have to offload and keep them on your server. This is a game mechanic that if you're watching this developer, I'm sorry, I see no reason for this mechanic whatsoever at the moment. Like right here, I have 9 of 15 things. Like in my tools, I've got these 4 things here. I can move them over to the server. You don't have multiple copies of things. If I move exploit compile to the server, it automatically puts it in the right directory and takes it off this machine. Now you can buy bigger hard drives, which will allow you to store more stuff on your local computer. But every once in a while you might have to go and juggle some things. But mostly it's just, there's really not a whole lot of use for it. That doesn't really add anything to the game at the moment. So the first thing I'm going to show you is that, because this is something that you have to figure out how to do early on in the game, and is like you can see you have to get access to a Wi-Fi network. Now when you first start the game, you'll only have 2 of these up here, and you have to crack into them. And if you've ever played GreyHack, it's very similar to cracking in there. Let me make sure. I might have to get those tools, or I might have typed. All right, so I have to get those tools. So I'm gonna go back over tools. Like I said, I can only keep so many files on my computer at a time. So I'm gonna move the 3 tools back over here. Just an extra step that I don't really know what it's for. So you see arrow dump, I have the BSS ID, the data. Now the larger this number is, the longer you can stay connected to these networks, or basically the slower this bar fills up from what I understand. Or maybe it's the lower, let me see. I don't know. Either way, encryption, you can see there's 2 different types of encryption, WEP and WPA. The WPA is the higher one. I had to upgrade my tools to be able to hack into those networks, and they have given me, from what I can tell, not much benefit compared to the amount of time I had to spend grinding to buy the tools. The benefits that I got from having those tools is pretty much nil, similar to what I got when I had to upgrade my network card. I had to upgrade my network card, and I had to buy more tools so that I could hack these Wi-Fi networks, and I had to do a lot of grinding to get that money, and it didn't really help. So As you can see, I did arrow dump, and then the next thing I'm gonna do, so we are currently connected to Luke, I am your Wi-Fi, so I'm gonna go to torrent gump because it's the WPA one and it requires an advanced tool, but it should give me some advantage. But the procedure is exactly the same for the other two. If I was going to be hacking into It Burns When IP or 404 network unavailable, the same thing. So I did arrow dump. So next thing I'm gonna do is do AI replay. And then I can just put in, so we're doing torrent gump, right? I can just put in 72 and press tab and it'll automatically fill it in. Now that doesn't always work. Now when I run AI replay, it's gonna pretend to be running this actual hacker tool called AI replay, where it's basically capturing packets to and from that wireless network, trying so that we can examine those to look for what the actual password is. And it'll do this for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then it'll give us the file. You can see success file. I know it's very small. I can't make the game any bigger. So if you're watching this on your 52-inch screen, congratulations. If you're trying to watch this on your phone, I'm sorry, you're probably not going to be able to see the game's interface. So success file 72 blah.handshake saved in your handshake folder, and then we run air crack, and we just have to give it the name of that file, and then it'll automatically begin attempting to decrypt the password. Now the password changes every time. So once it gives me this password and I connect to that network, if I disconnect from that network, then I have to rerun this whole process. You can't just like, here's the password, I'm going to copy it. Fortunately, the game will let you select and copy. So the PYS, that password, as soon as I connect to torrent gump using that password, the password will no longer be valid. So now I'm connected to torrent gump. You can see that it's blue. You can see that this little monitor, this little gauge up here completely reset back to clear. There's no more red on there. So that's how you connect. You'll have to do that as soon as you start the game. The game does give you a help menu which walks you through everything you need to do. So if you ever forget how to do something, you can just go through here and find out how to do it, like Shellcoin mining. You can now invest in rigs and graphic cards, and it is an investment that I have not been able to do yet. I was able to buy the rig, but I haven't been able to buy a graphic card yet. So now I will show you a contract. There's various different types of contract. I'm assuming once I get access to the Rescutor group that there will be more types of contracts, but now 5 hours into the game, these are the contracts that I see most often. And every time, like, so you can see there's, like I said, the override contract never goes away for some reason. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Currently have 6 contracts available to me. I've already done that one actually. So Misanthrope, we'll do Misanthrope's I'm going to go ahead and move these tools back just so in case I don't need them. So Misanthrope, I need you to upload my malware. I sent it to your server. The target name is Susan Mendez. Now this is one of those fish book missions. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my server, and his malware, he's already uploaded the malware to my server, and his name is Misanthrope. So I just have to click on it, transfer it to my server, so that when my computer, so that when I connect to Susan Mendez's computer, I'll be able to upload the malware to her. Simple as that. Now, once I complete all these missions, I can leave my computer and go and sleep. I can just click on this, I can interact with my couch, go to sleep, and then my missions will regenerate. Every once in a while, you'll get a phone call from your mysterious benefactor. I don't know who the voice actor is, but if you're looking for a replacement voice actor for that guy, just let me know. Anyway, so we're gonna hack into Susan Mendez. So we're gonna bring up our browser, and the first thing we need to do is we need to go to Fishbook, and we're gonna type in Susan Mendez's name. Now, one thing I do like about this game is it uses normal names. It doesn't try to generate some bizarre names, just like some games do. Most of these are just normal things. Now, as you can see, we got Susan Mendez's Fishbook. Everybody's profile picture is the same. The only thing, you can't really interact with anything on here except this, which I'll show you in a minute. What you're looking at here is their list of interests, okay? And what you want to do is you want to find out what they are mostly interested in. It's going to be one of these categories. Are they mostly interested in business and industry, entertainment, family and relationships, food and drink, or shopping and fashion? And we look at this. there's going to be 6 of one category and 4 of another. So it's not too hard. So we've got juice, desserts, barbecue, fatherhood, dating, weddings, baking, wine, friendship, and veganism. So we've got 6 that have to do with food, and we have 4 that have to do with family and relationships. So her main interest is food and drink. So what do we do with that information? Well, we go back to Backstore, click on Fishbook accounts, and we buy a food and drink account. Okay, so it tells us we bought it. We had to pay 3 shell coin for it, no big deal. Go back to Fishbook, type in Susan Mendez again. And then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna send her a message, but I need to make sure that I have this program running in my terminal called Netcat. And what that is doing is it's listening for a remote connection. It's waiting for somebody to connect to my PC so that we can take control of their PC. So I'm going to send her a message from the food and drink account. And it says, hey, Susan Mendez, want to become famous in the food and drink field? Go on our website now. So we're going to send this to Susan Mendez, and it's going to wait about 10 to 15 seconds. She's going to send us a message saying yes. Do 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 do. Oh, don't want to get copyright strike, so I won't sing that. I'll sing happy birthday. No, I don't want to sing that one either. All right, hello, I'm interested. I'm doing it right now. So she's going to say yes, and then she's going to wait about 10 to 15 seconds. Do 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 do. Can't do that one either. So we're going to wait for her to connect. And then all we have to do is upload the thing. So I don't need this open at the moment. Now you can see that my tracer monitor is now active. Susan Mendez's computer is now actively tracing me. You can also see up here that this little bar is starting to fill up. It'll fill up very slowly. I've only got a minute. I've only got 147 seconds to complete this hack. So what do I have to do? All I have to do is upload the malware. Upload malware. And the dude's name was what? What was his name? His name was Misanthrope. Oh, we better hurry. And I'm gonna upload it directly to her documents folder. Every computer has a documents folder. It doesn't matter what directory you upload it to. I just know that every computer has a documents folder. So there it goes. It's gonna spend a little bit of time saying that it's uploading it to her documents folder. Oh, I could have looked down here and seen what his name is. I didn't have to look over here. All right, so I bought a faster network card. It did not make these uploads go any faster. This is just some random time sync. Okay, so now that's uploaded. Now technically the mission is done. I just need to let Misanthrope know that it's done. But before I do, I'm just going to look around at her computer. So like I can look at LS downloads and see that she's got a directory in there called March, a directory called Witness, and a file called whisper.txt. Now, if I want to look and see what's in whisper.txt and just cat it, just like you do in other games that simulate the Linux environment. So cat whisper.txt, and you can see that's an address. Sometimes you're asked to steal an address file. Sometimes you're asked to steal a social security number, driver's license, stuff like that. Documents, there's nothing in there but the malware. Pictures, rarely actually has any pictures, but we can do cat. Now you see downloads, cat pictures eat.txt, you would think that that would be a Lazy Eats account, and it is. So I could download that. I'm actually going to do it. Get pictures eat.txt. Now it's automatically going to download it to me. You can see I've only got 41 seconds left. That red bar is kind of filling up fast, but that's no big deal because you just have to make sure it doesn't get all the way full. All right, so I've got that, and now I can disconnect. And once I disconnect, you can see connection goes away and the red bar will stop filling up. So then I can just send a message to Misanthrope. I just click on this. Then I can just say complete or give up. Say complete. And I got 334 reputation, 10 shell coin, and the contract is complete. So you notice I got 10.5 shell coin for that job. I had to pay 3 for the account. So that means for that one job, I got a profit of 7.5 shell coin, which brings me up to a whopping 31.5 shell coin, or 31.35 shell coin. And remember, I need 300 shell coin to buy my rig. So almost all of them, almost all the jobs require you to do something that's going to put out some money, especially when you get further into it. So he is done. So let's look at, all right, so it goes to a social security number for me at 5168. So this is an address. So let's look. Now, if you've played some other hacking games, you might be familiar with the nmap command. It's going to look at this address, tell me what services are on the address and what I need to do with them, or give me an idea how I can hack into them. Now, if the services are version 1 something, then all I have to do is download the exploit and use it. Download. I said that in another video. I said download in another video. I can't remember what that was. Anyway, these are version 2.2, which means I have to compile my own exploit. Let's make sure I don't already have one. Nope. So you're going to get to watch me make my own exploit. Isn't that going to be fancy? I'm gonna go ahead and open up another terminal. So what I have to do is I have to go back to Backstore, go to exploits, and so it's an SMB, so I have to download, I have to pay for the DLL for SMB 2.2.0. Now every time I use it, it gets consumed, so I have to pay 3 for that. I have to buy the library for 2.2.0, which is another 3 Bitcoin, and then I have to buy the shell code. So for this one hack, I've already spent 12 shell coin, which means that all my profits from the previous job are now gone. I'm down to 19.35. So if you buy the wrong thing, you can really mess yourself up. So first thing I need to do is I need to scan DLL, the SMB 220.dll. And what that does is it looks for a vulnerability in the DLL file. Sounds pretty fancy, huh? Same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. All right, so we do this. It's going to give us a memory address. Boop, 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 boop. That was an original composition, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to copy it. You can just Control C, and then I have to run exploit compile, and then I have to give it the library file, which is the smb220.so, which we bought from Backstore, and then I have to give it the memory address that we just copied. What? Oh, I forgot the 8 on the end of it. There we go. So then it runs that, and then we will have a brand new exploit. But you'll see that our DLLs, actually, it looks like I was wrong. Okay, I'm fully committed to saying I was wrong, and I was wrong. So the DLL did stay, but the shellcode did go away. So that's 6 minimum. And before you jump on my butt too much, keep in mind that when you look at the help file for this, help exploits, where is it? Exploits, crafting exploits. Service versions will update over time, that you will need to buy the required files for each version in order to compile their exploit. Now that just means that there's dozens of different exploit versions, as you saw when we were on here. Kitties DB, I mean, just from the normal ones, you have 1.0 all the way up to 1.49. So that's 50 different versions of the exploit right there. So you're still going to be shelling out a lot of money just compiling different types of exploits. And that was only one type. That was HTTP exploits. There's also SMB exploits. So that's also, I mean, there's over 100 different types of exploits you might have to mess with. It's not a big deal, but it is a drain on your money. So we spent 12 on this. So now we can use our exploit. Exploit SMB exploit. Where let's see this. There we go. Exploit underscore SMB underscore 220. Oh, exploit. That's why the tab didn't work. So then I just type in the address that we're trying to do. 51.68. That 146. That's 17. And now it's going to run that exploit and connect to that machine. Now, as soon as I connect to the machine, our good old, this will start going off. We got 176 seconds. This will start going up very slowly. So now all I have to do is find the social security number. Oh no, it's not in there. Hurry up. It's a Linux system. I can do this. Cat documents. Realize.txt. It's an address. I need a social security number. LS pictures. We're running out of time. We've only got 151 seconds left. So cat pictures. Whisper. That's just swim credentials. What about count? account.txt. That's their Lazy Eats account. Oh my gosh, we're running out of time. What directory was that? Those pictures. LS music. Everybody keeps their social security number in their music folder, right? Deprive. There it is. So now I can't just copy that social security number. To download the social security number, which adds just a little bit of a step to the job. For some reason, it's going to download it. It downloads it as something like address, social security number, something like that. I send this file to Brouhaha. They're done. So that's two of the main types of jobs you've seen there. And I think that's pretty much it. Let me look at them here again in a second. I'll show you. Boop, 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 boop. Doo, 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 doo. There we go. So that's uploaded. So now I can just disconnect and then go to Brouhaha. Now I'm going to click on the plus to send them a file. And there it is. 51. That's the address. Socialsecurity.txt. Click on it. Upload. Instantly uploads it. You have 15 credits for it. So 3 credits of profit for that job. Now, if I had already had that SMB paid for, then I would have got a lot more, but I didn't. So think of how much grinding I'm going to have to do. Now, when you go up in reputation, you get paid more. You should get access to more jobs, but 5 hours, you've been sitting with me for 26 minutes. That's 5.5 hours now, and I still don't have access to better jobs. And I've got stuff I have to manage, like this thing up here. I have to manage my serverzilla, etc. So Fishwife. You've already seen one of those. Baculus. Now let's look at this dude's. Nope, same thing. Now let's see if this is another compile one. Nmap 37.46.196.243. Now, so the only type of job that hasn't been, like I showed you, sometimes instead of stealing a social security number, you'll have to steal a SWEAM account. You have to find a SWEAM account somewhere. It doesn't matter where you find it. You just have to find it and then make sure that it has $40 on it, and then you send it in and you get paid. Now, sometimes they want the SWEAM account or a Lazy Eats account or a Mamazon account for a specific person, and you just have to download that and send it to them, and that job's done. Now, I haven't ran into any Mamazon accounts that have enough money on them for me to buy anything. From what I've seen on the forums, that even if you do find a Mamazon account that has got a ton of money in it, you can't use it. So I couldn't find a Amazon account that's got 300 shell coin already in it and buy my rig. It just doesn't work. So as you can see here, we did get lucky. This one is using the same exploit. So I just have to upload the malware for Headlong to this guy. So I go on my server and get Headlong's malware. So this one should get us some pretty, so exploit _SMB_220 address 37.47.46.196.243. It's going to do the same thing. As soon as I connect, you'll see this start going up. You'll see this start going up. You can see I've done three missions. This has gone barely halfway up. This is never an issue, 169. So now I'm connected to him. So all I have to do is upload malware, Headlong documents. Now, if you've played NetHack, you notice that when you connected to somebody's system, there would be other files on the system you could look at. And some of those files would have some random text in them that were stole from an old forum called Bash. So there would be cute little stories in some of the random files you would find on other people's things. This game is not like that. I found a couple of files that had some interesting stuff in them, but they were just the same thing as NetHack. They were just copy pasta from that old Bash forum. So once you get into somebody's system, there's really no need to stay except for looking for random accounts to steal. I've already got, let's look at my text here. I've already got all these accounts here that I can just mess around with if I need to. I've got a bunch of Lazy Eats, some Amazons, and Sweems. So nothing really important. So let me tell this guy that I've completed, and I will show you Sweem real quick. Now see, I got 15, and that time it was all profit. That was like free real estate because we were already using 2.20 of that exploit. If we had to use a different version of the exploit, we would have been out some money, or at least we would have gotten a very very much smaller profit. So I'll just show you what a Sweem account looks like real quick. Do I have a text? Nope. So I'm going to download one of my Sweem accounts here. I'll look at them. I'm going to close this out. So ls, I'm going to do ls text, cat text 188. Okay, so there's the Sweem account information. There's the username password. So I can open up Sweem. I'm just going to copy this, copy pasta. I'm going to copy pasta this, copy pasta login. Now you can see this looks very familiar to another popular game site called Epic Games. Not really. You can see that there's all sorts of games over here. Now, Curses of Fate, Dragon Tomb, Hatred in Spring. Now, you can't do anything with these games. You can't click on anything else. You can't really do anything. All you can do is check and see how many games are on here. Because every once in a while, you might get a contract that says, get me a Sweem account that has 20 games on it. So you just log into a Sweem account, make sure that it has 20 games on it, and then send it to the contract person, and you'll get paid. So that's basically it. That's basically the gameplay of Hacker Simulator 5 hours into it. Now, use the contracts you've seen me doing, they've gotten progressively a little bit more complex. I didn't have, when you first start off, you didn't have to do the exploit compile stuff. You would just run nmap, download the exploits from KittiesDB, and use it, and you were good to go. The Fishbook stuff has been the same for hours and hours. It's always the same thing. Find out their interest. Their interest is always, they're interested in 6 of one thing, 4 of the other. Whichever one they're interested in 6 of, that's what you buy the account for. Now, as I progress, it's going to be a while. I am committed to finishing this game, or at least seeing what happens next. If the gameplay gets significantly different once we get to the 8, 9, 10 hour mark, then I will update a video and let you know. But as of right now, if you're looking for a hacking simulator game that you want to spend your hard-earned money on, your hard-earned shell coin, I would suggest sticking with NetHack. Or if you're looking with something that's a little more realistic, then Greyhack. I will warn you that Greyhack is very realistic in the fact that sometimes you will just get missions that you will spend a lot of time on, and guess what? You can't complete that mission. It's just a system you can't get into. And that's just, them's the breaks, kids. There's lots of hacking games out there that toe the line between real and fantasy. This game tries to look real and it uses some of the real tools, but as far as the actual gameplay, very stagnant at the moment. As far as the flavor text and the immersion, very low at the moment. So if you're just looking for an easy peasy lemon squeezy hacking game to kill time on, then hey, this is it. And I will update this video when I get further along and I see what the Rescator group is, all that other good stuff. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful, because this was a game I looked at a long time before I decided to buy it. And so I wanted to give this to you so that if you're curious about whether to buy it, you'll know what to do. So thank you for watching.